People think wealth is about luck or grinding 24/7. But Jewish communities have been mastering money for centuries, using just four timeless principles. Money isn't just currency, it's the lube, and it keeps the economy smooth and flowing. And in just 72 hours, I learned the four real keys of building wealth, not from a finance bro or TikTok guru, but from a Jewish rabbi. And he broke it down in a way that completely shifted my perspective. And today, I'm putting you on. Let's dive in. Now, before we get into the four keys, let's clear something up. Most of us were never actually taught how money works. Some people think it's evil, others think it's impossible to get. But the truth? Wealth is a skill, and the people who've mastered it for generations, they follow four simple principles: create, communicate, collaborate, and serve. Or, as I like to call it, CCCS, the cheat code to keep money in motion. And it all starts with the first C: create. The first key to wealth: you have to create. Money just doesn't appear out of nowhere, it follows creation. And let's be real, creation is financial foreplay. It's almost like the warm up, the setup, because without it, money has nowhere to go. No creation, no attraction, no flow. And trust me, you don't want money to stop flowing into your account. Think about it. Every dollar you've spent went to someone who created something: a product, a service, a solution. If you're not creating, you're just consuming. And consumers don't build wealth, creators do. Money doesn't just chase people, it chases ideas, solutions, and value. Have you ever heard of the man James Dyson? You know, the guy behind those sleek, futuristic vacuums? What most people don't know is that before he became a billionaire, he was just an engineer with an obsession and a whole lot of failures. Dyson didn't just wake up one day with $1 million idea. He spent 5 years working on his first bagless vacuum cleaner. And in that time, he failed 5,126 times. Think about it. That's 5,126 failed prototypes. 5,126 times he tested, tweaked, redesigned, and tried again. Mind you, without a paycheck, without investors, and without any guarantees. Most people give up after 5 tries. But Dyson, he tried over 5,000 times. And even after he perfected his design, no vacuum company wanted it. They said it was too different, too expensive to manufacture, and that people wouldn't understand it. So, what did Dyson do? He launched his own company. No distributors, no problem. Dyson went direct to consumers. He put out ads explaining how his vacuum worked, and people didn't just buy the product, they bought the innovation. And now, he's worth over $13 billion. Not bad. Dyson didn't just create a vacuum, he created an entirely new standard in the industry. And this isn't just about business, it's a universal wealth principle. And that's been understood and applied for generations. Rabbi Lapin explains that money is almost like a certificate of appreciation. The more value you create, the more people are willing to trade their money for it. And it's not just about chasing money, it's about creating solutions. So if money isn't flowing to you, you gotta ask yourself, what have you actually created? If you want money to flow, you need to give it a reason to move toward you. No creation, no flow. No flow, no wealth. Now, creating something valuable is just the first step. But if nobody knows about it, does it even matter? This is where the second key comes in: communicate. Because money doesn't just follow great ideas, it follows people who know how to talk about them. Have you ever noticed how some people with mid level talent seem to just blow up overnight, while insanely talented people, they've been struggling for years? It's not magic, it's communication. Money follows those who can sell, persuade, and influence. And it's not just about what you create, it's about how you present it. People just don't buy products, they buy stories, emotions, and trust. And if you can't sell it, you can't scale it. Take Emma Grede, for example. She isn't just a businesswoman. She's a master communicator who turned everyday products into must-have status symbols. She was the one that co-founded Good American with Khloe Kardashian, not just to sell jeans, but to sell a message. One of inclusivity, body positivity, and confidence. She didn't just say, here's some denim. She said, here's a movement. People didn't just buy jeans, they bought the identity attached to them. Then, she did the same thing with Skims, alongside with Kim Kardashian. Skims isn't just a shapewear, it's a social media moment, a cultural shift, a brand people feel emotionally connected to. Emma Grede didn't just create a product, she created a conversation. She understood how you position and communicate something determines how people perceive and desire it. And it isn't just smart branding, that's ancient wisdom. Because in Jewish tradition, words don't just communicate value, they create it. Rabbi Lapin explains that words shape reality. In Jewish tradition, speech isn't just communication, it's creation. Think about it like this: business deals, relationships, even revolutions all start with words. The way you talk about yourself, your work, and your value determines who listens and who invests in it. Have you ever wondered why brands with great marketing win over even better products? Because people don't just buy products, they buy perception. Your words don't just describe your value, they create it. You don't have to be Kardashian to use this strategy. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or even just yourself at an interview, if you can't make people feel something, you won't be able to hold their attention. And it's not about what you sell, it's about how you make people want it. When people talk about you, your work, your brand, your ideas, what are they saying? Because whether you realize it or not, you're always communicating something. Does your message make people lean in or tune out? If people don't understand your value, they can't invest in it. But here's the thing, even the best communicators don't build wealth alone. That's why the third C, collaborate, is crucial. Because influence is powerful, but influence and the right connection, that's how you build an empire. You can have the best ideas and the best communication skills, but if you're doing it alone, you're making life harder. Because wealth isn't built in isolation, it's built through collaboration. Look at the most successful people in the world. You think they got there by themselves? Never. Every billionaire, every industry leader, every game changer, they all had partners, investors, mentors, and allies. Trying to build an empire alone is like trying to play chess with just one piece. You'll lose every time. Wealth doesn't just come from what you know, it comes from who you build with. The right people don't just add to your success, they multiply it. And keep in mind, your success isn't just about you. You see, the ability to create and collaborate could be the very thing that unlocks somebody else's destiny. The partnerships you form don't just affect your future, They change other people's lives. Because sometimes you're just the miracle that somebody else has been praying for. Take Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man worth over $20 billion. But here's the thing, he didn't just build his empire alone. Dangote started with a simple business, importing cement. But instead of trying to do it by himself, he built partnerships with global suppliers, African governments, and investors to expand across multiple industries. He understood that money doesn't just move in a straight line. It moves through people, power, and partnerships. But his biggest move, the Dangote refinery, a $19 billion oil and gas project that could only happen through strategic collaboration. He didn't just fund it alone. He brought in global financiers, government support, and private investors to create the largest oil refinery in Africa. One man's vision became a reality because he knew how to collaborate at the highest level. Dangote's success didn't just impact his own wealth. He created opportunities for thousands of people. His ability to collaborate and serve didn't just build a business, it built an economy. And this idea isn't new. Jewish communities know that wealth, at its core, isn't just about individual success. It's about connection, relationships, and service. Rabbi Lapin explains that the Hebrew word for money is tied to connection. Why? Because wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about relationships. Think about it. Money moves through people. Every transaction, every investment, every opportunity comes from a connection. So your financial future isn't just in your hands, it's in your relationships. Because when you collaborate, you don't just build wealth, you create an impact. One of the biggest reasons Jewish communities have thrived economically for generations, they don't just chase money, they build communities. From an early age, Jewish children are groomed with strong networks, deep relationships, and a mindset for giving and service. And it all starts in one place, the synagogue. For Jewish people, the synagogue isn't just a place of worship, it's a community hub. It's where families connect, business relationships form, and financial wisdom is passed down. From childhood, Jewish people are raised with a culture of service, mentorship, and collaborative growth. They aren't just taught to go it alone, they're taught to help each other thrive. And that's why Jewish wealth isn't just personal, it's generational. They don't just succeed individually, they lift as they climb. Their success is tied to the success of their community. And if you're trying to be a one-person army, you just end up slowing yourself down. Build with people who challenge, elevate, and expand you. Look at your circle. The 5 people you talk to the most, are they helping you grow or are they keeping you stuck? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your circle. But even the best collaborations don't matter if you're not serving people. That's where the 4th component comes in. Serve. Because money isn't just the goal, it's just the byproduct of serving people. The wealthiest people don't just make money, they create value, they solve problems, and they serve others at a large scale. Because money flows in exchange for solutions. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the bag. So if you want to make $1 million, solve $1 million problem. Think about every industry leader. They didn't just sell things. They changed how people live, and they put the service first. And no one embodies this more than a woman who didn't just build a business. She built a legacy. Meet Indra Nooyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. one of the most powerful female executives in the world. When she took over Pepsi, the world was changing. People were moving away from sugary sodas and junk food. Pepsi was on the decline, and she had a choice: keep chasing profits the old way or build something better. She chose service. She introduced healthier products like Tropicana juices and Quaker oats to help consumers make better choices. She helped reduce plastic waste and make PepsiCo more sustainable. She also invested in communities by improving wages and workplace conditions for thousands of employees. And she elevated women and diversity in corporate leadership. And guess what? Serving the world didn't just make Pepsi poorer, it made it richer. Under her leadership, Pepsi's revenue grew from $35 billion to $63.5 billion. She didn't just make PepsiCo richer, she made it better for the world. And that's the kind of wealth that lasts. The kind that doesn't just grow, but it gives. And for Jewish people, this isn't just a business strategy, it's their way of life. They don't just see service as a choice, it's an obligation. It's called tzedakah. And it's not just giving back, it's an ethical duty to contribute to the well-being of others. But here's where it gets interesting. Tzedakah isn't just about donating money, it's about creating opportunities. In Jewish culture, wealth is meant to circulate, not stagnate. And that's why Jewish business leaders focus on mentorship, philanthropy, and reinvesting into their communities. Because the more you serve, the more wealth flows. And this isn't just a tradition, it's a proven principle of prosperity. Rabbi Lapin explains that in Jewish tradition, service isn't just a charitable act, it's the foundation of prosperity. In Hebrew, the word for work and worship share the same root, because your work is the way you serve others and is seen as a form of spiritual contribution. Wealth is a reward for how you serve people. The more people you help, the more money you attract. So stop asking, how can I make more money? And start asking, how can I help more people? Because when you shift from a money-first mindset to a service-first mindset, the money just naturally follows. Every successful business is built on one thing: solving a problem to serve people. Your wealth is only as strong as what you create, communicate, collaborate on, and serve. When you embody these 4 keys, you create a legacy. Now, the real question is, which one do you need to master? One of them or all 4 of them? And if distractions, bad habits, or lack of sexual discipline keeps pulling you off your game, then this video is just for you. Because if you can't master yourself, you'll never achieve success. Until next time.